and welcome back to the Garden of Sports Fantasy Football Podcast. This is going to be our last weekly update episode for the year with your championship matchups, moves you should make for the championship. So if you have a Week 18 matchup where players sit, you're just kind of dense. Really shouldn't be playing. Please tune out of the podcast right now. We don't want you listening. I'm just kidding. But anyways, as always, I'm your host, Zach Gardner, alongside my brother, Jake.
Hello, everyone.
And we have Kyle back again. He's been with us pretty much if you're a listener of the show, you've most likely, Kyle's been on an episode. He's been with us pretty much all year. We love having him on. Welcome back once again, Kyle.
I'm so sad. This is the last week. I can't believe we're already in championship week, man. It's crazy how fast the season has gone. Flew by,
yeah.
Totally very crazy. And I don't know, my team from the middle of the season to a couple weeks ago, I was in our league that the three of us are in, I was kind of a little down on it because it was going to be my first kind of rough year in a while. But then I kind of rallied, barely squeaked into the playoffs, and now I possibly will make the championship round on a year that I thought was a lost year. So
you're making it.
You never know. You never know what can happen.
For everyone that's listening, it's literally Zach versus Jake in the semifinals right now in this league. So when Jake's sitting there yeah, you're gonna make it, it's because they're playing each other.
Yeah, we're playing each other to go to the championship round.
Tell them what we have left here.
Little podcast matchup here. Yeah, so let us know in the comments who you think will win. But I have I have Keenan Allen and what the heck's the Austin Eckler going, and Jake has Mike Williams. So yeah, let us know in the comments who you think's going to win that one. We'll be interested to see what you guys think on that one. But
oh my god.
I think it's a 50-50.
Chances are that one of us chances are that one of us will win. So yeah. With that, we'll break into our 3x3x3 top waiver ads here for your championship week. I know that you're all waiting on bated breath for our top 9 guys here to add. So I'll start her off with Russell Gage.
Nice.
22% rostered, wide receiver for the Bucks. Starting to do a little bit of things these last couple of weeks. This week last week was a big week because he caught a touchdown too. But this week, 5 catches, 65 yards, kind of a nice little follow up to a really good week last week. People were interested to see how he did this week after such a great week last week, and he held up still very nicely here. Might be a little sneaky little receiver move here for the end of the season. Maybe somebody at least
Carolina next week.
Yeah, they got Carolina, so could have another big week next week. Maybe a guy to look at here if you need a wide receiver for some depth, or just if you're in dire straits, you could take a look at Russell Gage.
Yeah, he had a couple of really, really good catches. I watched the game, and he had a couple of catches where on the sideline, toes in and dragging, as he's going to the ground, catching the ball. I mean, there are some impressive catches. Him and Tom Brady, especially near the end of the game when the Tampa Bay was driving to try and win the game, he seemed to be going towards either Mike Evans or Russell Gage. That was basically the 2 guys that he was throwing it at. He wasn't even really looking at anybody else. So if they can keep up that chemistry, especially going into a big time, it's going to be an NFC matchup that truly does determine whether Tampa Bay, I think it does, if Tampa Bay is going to win the division or not. Isn't this one determined, or is it technically would be also, though, the following week?
I personally think it's going to come down to the end of the week or end of the year to see the last game to see who makes it in. But because it's between them and
Panthers, and Saints.
Yeah.
But they're up one game.
So. Also, the Saints, I think the Saints are next against Philadelphia, correct?
Their schedule?
Was it Philly? I thought it was Philly. There we go.
They have Philly, yep.
Yep, okay, that's what I thought. So, but it's still going to be a big game. So if if Tom Brady's got a little bit of chemistry with him, I don't think that you could ever really go wrong.
Yep.
a receiver who's catching passes is better in championship week than a receiver that's not. So,
yeah, and he's doing this with Tom Brady playing bad. If Tom Brady, finds some old drugs for the final stretch of the season and then for the playoffs, look out. Because
maybe he should
once you're in
just
the
go make
playoffs,
out
it doesn't
with
matter.
He should just go make out with his kid again, and maybe he'll get some of that back.
Suck out that life force. Yeah, I agree.
That's how he stays young, man.
Yeah.
The uncomfortably long kisses, it transfers the power.
Yeah. Oh my god. Damn. Maybe he's running out of kids. But my top grab, Tyler Algier. He was my number one grab last week as well. And we had a theory of they're going to give him the carries over the Patterson as the starter because they want to test out their rookies since they know they're out of the playoffs. And he had 18 carries this week, 74 yards, and looked very solid against Baltimore, who's a better defense than New Orleans in my eyes. And next week, even more so as a top grab, is Arizona. So this guy could be a championship winner, and he's a must-grab player. He wasn't grabbed enough because I think people were scared of the Baltimore defense, and if it was just a fluke one-week thing for him. But he's proven, and the team's proven, like, their plan in the past 2 weeks of what they're doing. So, gotta grab him. 39.2% roster in ESPN leagues. Could be a little higher in different formats, such as NFL, Fantasy, or Yahoo, but if he's available, you got to grab this guy, especially if you're a Derrick Henry owner and he's, missed practice on Monday. You're getting a little sweaty. So,
yep.
Go get yourself some Tyler.
But yeah, Jake kind of Nostradamus last week here, predicting the high carries and everything and the high usage rate. So, good job, Jake, for predicting that. And I
think other people are saying it too.
Came to pass.
Jake, you should be on a fantasy football podcast. Oh wait!
Shit!
What are we doing? I forgot.
Yeah. Yeah, but
RB1. Why would you say no, especially to an RB1, especially if you got guys that aren't performing? There are a lot of running backs that kind of didn't perform this week because it was kind of a weird week for running backs. I feel like so
it really was. Yeah.
This is a guy that if he's available, he's definitely worth taking a look at. Even just so the other person that you're facing doesn't get him. Even if you just grab him and you keep him on your bench, it's just so someone else is getting a whole lot of touches that you won't have to face. Tactics, dirty tactics.
There's probably just about no running backs left, and there's a lot of wideouts, but fill that running back void. This might be it. I mean, a little late. Hopefully you're still in it, but championship week.
But even if people aren't in the championship, there's still most people do a punishment if you get last place in your league. So the people that could be also listening to this are the people that are like, "Oh my god, I'm trying to play to get out of last place right now. I need somebody." Here you go. Go grab them.
It's true. Yeah, people could, and also, in a lot of my leagues, we do a third place prize as well. So
those super important.
You get a little magnet for your fridge. No.
My God.
Congrats. You're the second loser, third place.
Yeah. What do we do usually in the money leagues that we have? We usually give third place just their whatever the buy-in was back.
10%. Yeah.
Oh.
So it depends.
Okay.
It's 60, 30, 10 split.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes,
sir. So in some leagues, like if it's not $100, if it's more of a buy-in than that, it's more than $10 a person, then they get more than their money back.
Okay.
So a couple extra bucks. Yeah.
Money.
Pretty sweet.
Yes, sir. Kyle, who do you got?
I'm glad that I might make it to the championship. I'm guaranteed some money in our first year that we paid money.
Oh my God.
But no one actually paid that league. I don't know what he's talking about.
I haven't paid yet.
Nobody paid? Oh, I paid for me and Dad.
They're gonna track me down like I'm the mom. Like they're the
Christ.
mom. They're gonna
pay for me too, dude.
Me. Yeah, hey, me too. While you're at it, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, just because Dad, there's no way he'd get Venmo.
Oh no!
No. Did you even ask him?
I don't need to ask him. Have you ever talked to James Gardner?
Yeah.
But anyways, we can talk about this after the podcast. But yeah, who you got? Kyle is your first
All
guy
right,
off the board
so
here.
I am also bringing back a guy I talked about last week because I also was like a Nostradamus, except I'll go with Nostradamus Jr. Sure, that's fine. DJ Chark, wide receiver on Detroit, 30.9% roster according to ESPN. Last week, I was like, I think that he's really going to make up for his horrible performance in Week 15, and he did with 12.8 points and half PPR. Had 4 receptions on 5 targets for 108 yards. Next up, he is facing basically a lifeless Chicago defense that just absolutely got gashed by Buffalo. Played okay against the pass, but couldn't stop the run. You know, we know that Detroit likes to run the ball, which is just going to open it up. And also, the Bears are going to be without, I think it's Kyler Gordon this week.
They
which
are?
Is one of
Oh,
the
shit. I didn't hear about that.
Oh, maybe. I thought somebody in their backfield, one of their really good guys, was going to be out. I thought is what I heard. Regardless.
Okay, because I know that Gordon had a good game. That's all I knew.
I don't know.
He had an
I
interception.
thought I heard that somebody was hurt. But regardless, Chicago's defense is not very good. Could be the flex move of the month. DJ Chark, besides his bad game last week, has had then 3 other games with double-digit points. This could be a guy that you could swap into your flex to try and get some good points. I think it's a really nice matchup. I would definitely grab this guy like I tried to get people to do last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been kind of on this one for a little while now. And
Dude.
I think the league's...
Ever since he came back from injury.
Yeah, he's been really good, except for maybe last week at his down week game. But, I mean, they were playing a good team last week.
That happens with wideouts. If you're not the number one, if you're number 2, you're going to have weeks like that. That's just...
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm definitely adding DJ Chark going up against that vaunted Bears defense next week. That's a juicy little matchup right there.
It's a really good matchup. Really good.
Yeah.
Really
and the Bears are not a good they're not good against the deep ball too. I mean, if it's just rough all across the board there. So definitely a juicy one. So yeah, DJ Chark, everyone, go get him.
DJ Chark.
And then I got kind of a lesser known, kind of bottom of the barrel name here.
Selling me on him.
Trenton Irwin, wide receiver on the Cincinnati Bengals. He's 0.1% rostered. Just this last week here, he had 3 catches for 45 yards and 2 touchdowns. For the time being, for the foreseeable future, maybe the rest of the year, could be wide receiver 3 on Cincinnati, with Tyler Boyd aggravating a finger injury this last week here. So it might be worth a little pickup, speculative start if you absolutely need a receiver. You probably don't even need to use a waiver claim on this guy because I don't think anybody's going to be really seeking him out. So, but it could be like opening a third eye type move here, Galaxy Brain.
Oh my god!
Play.
Yeah, I think aren't both the Buffaloes? Is it their safeties or their corners? Aren't both of their starters out?
Jordan Poyer, I believe, is back, but Micah Hyde might be back, so they might have Poyer and Hyde back.
Oh shit!
But it's going to be Hyde's first game back after like a couple months with a neck injury, so I'm not sure how many snaps he's going to get. You know what I mean?
Joe Burrow's been playing great. Joe Burrow has been playing great recently. He has been throwing the ball excellent. So I'm not necessarily concerned that Cincinnati versus Buffalo. Maybe it'll get turned down. I would imagine it's going to be high scoring. With Hayden
Hurst out, and then Buffalo is going to be definitely focusing on the two big guys, Chase and Higgins.
Yeah.
A guy like Trenton Irwin might be a Galaxy Brain move. I mean, if you absolutely need to, I'm not saying that you need to go out, pick him up and start him. If you have a great team, maybe just pick him up, put him on your bench. But like, I think if you're somehow squeaking into playoffs and you have some injuries going on, I think this guy could be a decent move here. He could have another good week, possibly, as kind of like an under the radar guy.
This is one of those games that you look at and say, this could definitely be a matchup again that we're going to have in the playoffs. So I think that these guys, both the teams are just going to go at each other full force. So we could see a really high scoring game. We saw a really good game with the Chiefs versus the Bengals. It was a really high scoring, good game. Saw Burrow come away on top. Burrow had an amazing game. and the receivers absolutely, just benefited from him just throwing a great game. He seems to rise to the challenge. We'll see if he rises to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Jake?
just gonna add real
okay.
quick that I probably wouldn't go beyond a 12 team. Well, like I wouldn't go 10 team, but probably 12 team starting and then 14 team. I think, just a deeper league move, but I still like it.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a lot in the way of guys that aren't already highly owned this week.
Yeah,
I was really looking for guys.
No, I definitely like it and I'm reading that he almost caught a third touchdown. It was off his fingertip.
Barely got it, barely missed it. Yeah, he almost had 3 tutties.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, who you got, Jake?
My second guy, kind of another player that's been under the radar just because of the QB situation, but Jahan Dotson of the Washington Commanders. He had 6 receptions for 76 yards and a touchdown against San Francisco's defense, which is no joke.
Yeah.
And then the week before, 105 yards and a touchdown. So this is a guy who's been talked about for, all year. And he started out hot and then really fell off all year. And then now he seems to be, just since the bye week in week 14, he's been on fire.
Yeah, he's starting to command that offense.
Yeah, his targets have risen compared to the past month. And I think this is another league-winning type wide receiver. He played a top-tier defense and he had 16.6 fantasy points in a half-point PPR. And then next week they have Cleveland. I think he could do just as good against Cleveland.
Yeah.
What was your dad joke that you said earlier that you just said, Zach?
Well, Jahan Dotson of the Commanders, he's starting to command that offense.
Yeah, I thought that's what I heard.
Jake, and I thought it was beautiful, but
I thought that's what I thought that's what I heard.
Oh my God.
Jake's just like, yeah, he does, and pick him up.
Oh my gosh! I was in my segment, brother. I'm not focusing on your shitty joke, but no, I'm just kidding.
Glory hole.
He had more.
That was the wrong button.
Wait. No, you're good.
I wanted to say,
Settle down just a little bit.
So it's hard to say who's the number one because Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel are also doing well.
Mm-hmm.
But if all 3 of them are eaten, I think it's still worth a speculative flex play.
Yeah. I agree. I remember talking about this guy in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And then just with the quarterback turmoil, he's been kind of forgotten about.
He was injured. He was injured between week 6 and 9.
Yeah.
So he's missed.
Nice.
Yeah. He's definitely, I think the injury, maybe he was playing injured, then he went out for a month and then came back slow. And it's just, up and down year for him. But
definitely playing himself into being on somebody's fantasy team right now.
Yep.
And he was one of the top draft picks in this past draft. This guy's a rookie, so he was one of the top guys that was picked from Penn State. They were saying that he's probably the number 1 wide receiver off the board, and I can't remember if he actually was or not. I can't think back to all the way when we did our draft prep and everything like that before the season. He's talented, man. He came out leading all rookie receivers in touchdowns before he then got hurt. He seems to kind of be coming back to form a little bit.
And he almost had double, just real quick. Dotson had 9 targets, and Curtis Samuel and Terry McLaurin each had 5. So he might be taking the number 1 spot.
Wow.
I think obviously it's hard to say like what exactly is going to happen in Washington every week to week, but at the same time, he's got a lot of talent. He's a talented dude. I think that he's going to be one of our top guys that we're talking about next year. As long as Washington maybe figures out what the heck they're doing on offense, with the quarterback stuff. If he has someone to throw him the ball, though, I think that he's going to be a superstar. But this is definitely a guy who catches a lot of touchdowns, and you can see that the games that he plays, he catches touchdowns. So, definitely someone to be on the lookout for.
Hell yeah.
Sure. You have Kyle?
So my next one I put on here is kind of a watch and kind of see. It all depends on the status of Jalen Hurts, and I understand that. But I think that he had too good of a game not to talk about, and make sure that he's on your list to look at.
Legend grows.
Minshew Magic. Gardner Minshew, quarterback for Philadelphia, 27.2% owned. It was a really tough loss for the Eagles. It was America's Game of the Week. It was a great football game. Cowboys versus Eagles. It was a great game. Played, honestly, reasonably well for his first start against a really tough Dallas defense. I thought he played pretty well. He had 22.7 points.
I'd say pretty damn well.
Right? 355 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. Did have 2 interceptions and a fumble, but you're facing one of the toughest defenses in the NFL. Like, you're going to have turnovers in your first start.
And he hasn't played in so long, you know?
Totally. And if you take away all 3 of those, he could have had a 28-point day, which would have been huge. Now, the biggest thing with him is to monitor Jalen Hurts' status. Obviously, if Jalen Hurts announces that he's coming back, obviously he falls off the board. If Jalen Hurts doesn't, I think that he's probably one of, if not the top quarterback pickup this week on the waiver wire, just because Philadelphia is going to play New Orleans this upcoming week, and I can't remember if it's in New Orleans or it's in Philadelphia, but either way, he proved that with all the talent that they have on the offensive side, that he can step in there and he can actually get some decent points and he can be serviceable as a quarterback to pick up. But obviously, all depends on Jalen Hurts. All the all the reports as of today are all still mixed, saying he's going to try to get back. They don't know if he's going to be back. It's a day-by-day thing.
All they care about is him healthy for that first playoff game. You know, if there's any chance that he's not 100%, they're just going to save him for the playoffs.
A lot of the reports are just saying, like, after this past game, they might believe in Gardner Minshew enough because they need one more win and then they secure the NFC East. Then I think they means also with the record that they would get the first round bye. So if they're like, well, if we can rest Jalen for another few weeks after that and Gardner can just finish out the regular season and get us just one win, and we're good. We don't need to rush back Jalen.
And then that works out great too, because if something happens to Hurts again in the playoffs, you know, then you have Minshew with some reps under him already, you know, kind of ready to go if they need, and he could be like a Nick Foles type run. Who knows?
Honestly, what a year that was! What a Super Bowl that was! I'd love to see it again, but I'd love to see Jalen Hurts get the Super Bowl. He's played really well this year.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, he could get MVP.
Yeah, he could.
I think he will get MVP.
I know, but if he misses the rest of the year, maybe not.
Do they have another divisional game this week too?
But they should not. It's no, New Orleans isn't.
Oh,
New Orleans,
and
then it's the Giants after that.
Okay, so they end.
I don't think they should rush him back, dude. Like you have championship aspirations. Why would you risk injuring that for the playoffs?
Well, you want that bye. Yeah. Give him another week of rest.
Yeah, the first round bye is
but if he
trying to look at.
Goes out, you know, has to have surgery or something, then it's over. I mean,
true.
Minshew's good, but not as good as.
No, I think the Eagles are much worse, obviously, with Gardner. But you never know, and I think it all depends on, you know, if Jalen can get back, because you know that Jalen wants to play, but it's also a matter of are they going to tell him no, take a week, you're okay, you know. Oh.
Yeah.
See, but someone to keep an eye on. It's all depends
it's a great
on
one.
The status.
Hell yeah.
I should have streamed the legend, and I had no balls. I went Tom Brady and lost.
Oh, I did stream him in our other league that we're in, Jake, because I had Jalen Hurts in that league. And
what are you going for, third place?
I just picked up Minshew and put him in. I was like, screw it.
Why not?
Going full on Eagles.
Minshew magic.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Gardner Minshew just because of that first name, you know, really.
Really, what's the connection? I don't see it.
Oh, my God.
But yes, great move there. If you need a quarterback, Gardner Minshew, I definitely think right now maybe toward the top of the list. But I have another quarterback to add into that little quarterback hat here. I got Sam Darnold. He's 2.9% rostered. He went 15 of 22 for 250 yards and a touchdown. And then he also ran the ball 6 times for 19 yards and a touchdown. Sneaky good performances the last couple of weeks. if you absolutely need a quarterback, this guy could possibly be a good move. I think I would just put him slightly ahead of Minshew just because he's the unquestioned starter right now, and he's actually been doing good for a couple weeks here. But Minshew and Darnold, I think, might be the top two quarterbacks if just choose between one of them if you absolutely need to pick one.
Well, Purdy's still there, right?
Oh, Purdy's there too. Yeah, those would be like the three big ones.
Are you talking about Brock the Glock Purdy?
Yes, yeah, he's still available,
okay.
and they have. I mean, Sam Darnold has a good matchup because Tampa Bay's defense hasn't been anything special. I think Purdy has a really good matchup though. If like we just wanted to throw another guy in there,
at Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's a
He's at
bad
Las
defense,
Vegas.
but he hasn't scored as high as Sam Darnold and Gardner Minshew.
No, this past week they faced obviously Washington. Got 15.96 points, threw for 234 yards, 2 touchdowns, had 6 rushing yards and an interception.
He's not going to get the rushing touchdowns like Darnold and Minshew are lately. So,
yeah, no, definitely not. No, I agree. I was just saying, throw a little third string in there.
Yeah, throw his name into the ring. But yeah, you know, just another quarterback to look at, Sam Darnold. I mean, he's proven himself capable here these last couple of weeks. So,
for sure. My third guy, Greg Dortch.
Torch.
Oh my god! Yeah. Only 3% rostered.
The
10
human
receptions. Dorch? Oh my god!
He's on fire.
Oh god!
Yeah.
10 receptions for 98 yards, 3 carries for 25 yards, and a Week 17 matchup against the Falcons. So
great move.
I think it's another little sleeper. Another little sleeper move, kind of like Trenton Irwin. You know, not as reliable as some of these other guys we're talking about, but still, you know, it's always these last month of the year. There's random guys that just kind of go crazy. So this could be one of them.
Yep.
Totally, and they're facing the Falcons. It's going to be a good matchup for no matter who the offensive person is. You have the ability to try and move the ball a lot against them. So, yeah, another big name. I did see his. It's funny, 10 receptions. I remember watching the game and was like, he just keeps catching the ball. Who is this guy that keeps he keeps getting the ball?
That's how I felt like in the first couple of weeks of the season when I would watch an Arizona game, like when Dortch was doing good, like the first month of the season. When they were waiting for Hopkins to come back, Dortch was doing really good at the start of the year, and I would watch a game or two, and I'd be like, "Who the heck is this guy out here?" He's just
he's a really random. Like, is he like a fourth string? Because he has weeks like this.
Yeah, he is like their fourth receiver, definitely.
Like once a month, where he just goes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next couple weeks he gets one target, or like what they gotta use this guy.
Yeah, they do. They just have a very crowded wide receiver room for sure.
Now a very
crowded quarterback. Is he a rookie?
I don't think he's a rookie. I think he's a second year guy.
Third year. I think maybe I read he was a third year. My bad.
Yeah, he's been around.
Greg
I think for a
Dortch, 24.
Greg Dortch, third year whiteout.
Yeah. All right.
Torch the torch.
Check
baby.
him out. Check him out. Atlanta for your championship week.
Gonna get torched. They're gonna get torched by Dortch. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh my god.
That's gonna happen.
Hell yeah.
All right. Finishing up with normally one that I try to pull out, either a kicker or a defense. Last week I totally called it with Eddie Thickleg Pinheiro, who scored 14 points. And I want to say I called it.
Damn, boy, he's thick.
I called it. Some 14 thick points he put up. So if you picked him up, it was a good call. Here we go.
Tell the people. Okay.
I will tell the people now what I like this week. This one is very enticing. Jaguars defense is only 15.5% rostered according to ESPN. Watching their game against the Jets. Now, I know it's against the Jets. Jets are really having their own internal demons and struggles right now that everybody knows about with Zach Wilson. But big energy in their game. The whole Jaguars sideline, no matter what happened, That was good. The whole sideline was erupting and cheering for like each other the entire time. The energy was like palpable through the TV, and that's
They're
the team
excited right now.
Doug Peterson is leading this team, and they have a chance at the playoffs. A long shot, but they still are in it. They still have a chance. So the upcoming week have the Jaguars, who are going to play Houston. Okay, now. The last 3 games that they've played, they've been double digits all the last 3 games, with 11 points against Tennessee, 11 points against Dallas, and then 13 this past week against the New York Jets. So they've been playing really well against, honestly, some a little bit better teams than what we think Houston is. Coming next now, we're going to play Houston, who is 27th in pass completion percentage, 30th in rush yards, 31st in rushing touchdowns, 18th in passing touchdowns, 31st in third down conversions, 26th in pass yards, 25th in yards per reception. Need I go on? I don't think so.
You're telling me there's a chance.
Could be a huge pickup for your defense, and it's honestly is like probably the best looking defensive matchup this week. Looking at like,
wait, what do you mean
opponents.
they don't have a chance?
I never said that they don't have a chance.
They have it. They have the division right now.
They got to hold on to it. I thought they were tied with somebody else in the division.
Yeah, but they must have the tiebreaker because they're on top.
Okay.
It's them and the Titans. But yeah, no, they still have to win. They still have to win.
Still have to win. So that's what I'm saying.
They got to win out.
They have a chance, but they
that'd be fun.
That would be fun. Super fun. And this defense, I think, was playing with such high energy. They 11 points against Dallas. That's huge. So I think that when
they got sneaky good talent on that defense. Totally. Young talent.
And then Houston, that matchup.
Need I go on about all the stats? I could, but it's
I'm watching this one
same.
next week.
This could be really fun. Could be a really good pickup for defense.
And Lawrence is just out there slinging it lately. That boy cold, man.
Fabio.
Hey, Fabio.
Sunshine. I call him Sunshine.
Sunshine. Oh, remember the Titans? Oh my God.
He looks just like him, dude. I swear to
God. That's hilarious. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Well,
awesome.
Yeah, Jaguars defense. I definitely agree. Big move here. Another good defensive kicker.
Defenses.
Kyle always gives you the good defense or kicker moves. We appreciate that. He understands the Garden of Sports philosophy on every position, getting you good points. So
it all counts.
Yep. Those are what you call winning moves, everybody.
Big moves.
Oh my God.
And so with that segment done, we are going to move on to surprises of the week.
A surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
So I'll kick her off here with a real doozy of a surprise here. Kendrick Bourne, 6 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown for the Patriots. I would have had him in our moves, but I'm just not sure that I trust the Patriots offense enough to add him this week. But definitely was a really good performance from a kind of a hot and cold offense, a hot and cold receiver here. And so just, they're just a very hot and cold offensive team. So I thought it was a surprise that he did so well, had a really good week, scored like almost 22 fantasy points, was one of the top scorers, at least among guys that aren't owned in our league.
21.9.
So, somebody that you could possibly look at. Looking at his history, especially just this year, how Bourne has been. Not sure that he can do that a second week in a row. I don't know what you guys think, but I just thought it was a surprise that he did so well. So,
no, and honestly, I honestly kind of forgot Kendrick Bourne. It was really even on the Patriots because you just haven't heard his name all year. I feel like last year we heard it a lot of times. You're right. Yep. This year, I haven't even looked at his stats. I'm looking at it right now, and
been kind of a letdown from last year. For sure.
Totally is. So I think that I don't know necessarily about Adam, but I agree. What a big surprise, especially up against Cincinnati with pretty darn good defense there. So, I agree with the surprise.
He's like Harvey Dent. Can we trust him?
No. It just might be the evil side of the face that makes me think no on that one.
Can we trust him?
Scary
what did you
face.
Harvey face?
Scary.
Holy shit.
Harvey, you're back. Use that gun to kill Two-Face. Oh, Two-Face, now you're back. Such a good video. Oh my god.
So great.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Link that in the description.
Yeah.
Yes, link in the description if you guys want to know what we're talking about there.
Yeah.
The best Batman movie ever, like that they made. So definitely go check it
Oh
out.
my god.
All right, Jake, what's your surprise, bud?
My surprise. Cam Akers, a man they said they were going to cut from the team, is now looking like the guy they drafted. 23 carries for 118 yards and 3 touchdowns against Denver. Jesus Christ is what I got to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, or that. Yeah, oh my god. Beast mode. Looks like he's finally fully healthy. I mean, he's looked like pretty damn good the past month, but best game by far of his career.
Oh yeah, I mean that's pretty insane. And what does Los Angeles have to lose? Why not just keep rushing him? And just,
they dropped the other guy.
Yeah,
Daryl Henderson. So
I did. Still don't understand that.
Is he still on the street?
No, he was picked up by the Jags.
Wasn't
it by the Jags?
I think it was the Jags. I think you're right on
I was
that.
going to say I'd be surprised if he was not picked up.
He was picked up right away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Henderson. Hold on, let's see. Daryl Henderson. Oh, and then he got dropped again.
Oh, he's dropped?
Dropped again. So now he's technically a free agent, but met with the Cardinals on Tuesday.
Okay.
December 20th. So that was almost a week ago. Ow. Cannot believe that. Okay. Chicago, you want somebody? Anyway. There's got to be something wrong, right? There's got to be some kind of locker room issues because the dude was a good running back.
Yeah, I don't get that one still. That's weird.
I haven't heard any reports that like hey,
Wacky Wild.
He's a problem in the locker room. Hey, he said this, he does that. Like I haven't heard anything. He was a great running back. Now he's been dropped twice. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so odd. But anyway, Cam Akers, huge game. It was just a completely lopsided game just in general anyway. Russell Wilson and obviously Nathaniel Hackett then today, the head coach for
got the can.
The Broncos got fired after his first season, which is not necessarily surprising after they spent all of the draft capital and money that they did on Russell Wilson to go, what are they now, 4-11?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of surprising that they canned him before the season's even over. They're just like, I mean, it was that bad. It's crazy. Yeah. But when you see everybody like on the sideline just fight and brawls breaking out and arguments and everything, and he just cannot keep the guys on, like, he's totally lost all the players for sure. So they're just like, that's just never a good sign. And that's rough because I didn't think that it was going to go that bad for him with the pedigree that he kind of has coming in here. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. But yeah.
The whole game was a surprise. Everything about that game and the after effects is a surprise. But yeah. But Cam Akers, have a day.
Hell yeah.
Had a day.
My surprise came from another kind of a trouncing, was Carolina crushing Detroit. Super surprised with it. Really did not see it coming, especially with how well Detroit's been playing recently. The bigger surprise out of the game that I have was Dante Foreman, who we have said he thought was going to lose the starting job to Chuba Hubbard. That Dante Foreman has had some really bad weeks, including last week had 0.9 points. That's it. Mm-hmm. He had 10 carries for 9 yards, 0.9 points.
Yeah, that's rough.
That was it. We were talking to that. We were saying Chuba Hubbard's going to take over. Here it is. Here's the reasoning for them and go. This past week, though, against Detroit, the carries were 21-12 in favor of Foreman. He went for 165 yards and a touchdown. Which
Hubbard still did good, though. Had 125 yards.
He did. They both played really well. But I'm talking about the carries themselves. Foreman was absolutely on top of that. Almost doubled. He was effective for the entire day. You got like 21 points, 22 points in half PPR. I think he's probably still a little too inconsistent to trust if you have him against Tampa Bay this week. But at the same time, it was just a huge comeback. It was a huge bounce back for him, and I was surprised by it.
That was actually the Detroit defense was a good matchup for Foreman because he's such a big back, and Detroit doesn't have
they don't have a lot of size.
They don't have a lot of size like with their linebackers and corners and safeties, so he was able to truck over those guys so I mean, I don't know. It was kind of a bad matchup for for Detroit's defense. But yeah, definitely a really good week for Foreman. With how bad he's been doing, I don't know that I would have, even with that matchup being noted, I don't know that I would have foresaw him having a really good game like that. 21 carries.
I benched him. I said, absolutely not. You're going to go 0.9 points? Absolutely not. You're on the bench. And of course, I do that, and he gets 22 and a half.
He took that personally.
Fantasy for
Did,
you.
man.
That's
He said,
fantasy,
you
bro.
know what? Garden Sports Podcast is calling me out. I'm going to prove him wrong right now. Here we go. Here we go. Ready?
That is fantasy sports for you, though, dude. No matter
Foreman,
every move you make.
Dante Foreman, I was wrong. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I admitted to my mistake. All right, I feel better now.
Well,
nice.
He'll be happy to hear that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, all right. Surprises of the week. Good ones, boys. And now we're going to break into some injuries here.
My leg!
I always like the my leg sound after the running noise. That's funny to me.
My leg!
Yeah, so I'll just flip through these here. Major fantasy relevant injuries. So we got the Buffalo Bills defense could have a key player back next week or the final week. They're trying to get Micah Hyde back. He's been out for a while with a neck injury, been on IR. But he's been spotted back at practice doing work off to the side over the last couple of weeks. So, maybe his return will be, maybe he'll be coming back pretty quick here. Hayden Hurst is out for the Bengals. We got Tony Pollard questionable. We have Christian Watson questionable with a hip injury. We have Aaron Jones questionable with an ankle injury. Ooh, this one's kind of crazy here. We got Tua Tagovailoa questionable. He's in concussion protocol, and we know that, him with the concussions, that's definitely something to monitor here.
Yeah.
Especially with them trying to lock up their playoff spot here, trying to lock it down, so that's kind of big news for sure.
Some protocols where it's probably like they don't want any more backlash. You might not even have one, but
well,
I don't know.
There's a sign. There's so many signs where they have to put them in.
It's not good with him, the fact that he's had so many concussions.
He's had two. Well, he had the first one, which was bad. They should have taken him off. Then he got another one, and really with concussions, the most dangerous thing is getting another one while you already have one, and that's what
it's definitely one of those ones that's compounding compounds in a terrible way. The more you get, the more it fucks you up, long term.
Oh, this is kind of possibly the third concussion that he's had this year alone. On top of that, he's now in the protocol. It might be tough for him to get back this week. That's a good one. I didn't realize he was out.
And it definitely, there's something to worry about there because you see it a lot more in hockey with concussions. There'll be a guy that gets a couple concussions in a hockey season, 27 years old, retires. You see it all the time in hockey. So, I mean, the concussion stuff is crazy. So, definitely got to watch it. We'll just see what that one is. But moving on here, we got Tyler Lockett out with a hand injury. Derrick Henry, hip, non-participant in Monday's practice, so just be watching him. Kind of big news for if you're going into your championship week and you have Derrick Henry. Definitely probably be looking at Tyler Algier this week to pick up because that's big news with him hitting the injury report. Yeah. And that's all your big fantasy relevant injury news. And just thank you guys for another good episode. This was really fun. And I can't believe football's about over, boys.
I know.
Yeah, well, this is it. This is
we're knocking around getting back together here maybe next week or in a couple weeks to do an end of the season wrap up.
Yeah,
episode,
it would be 2 weeks after the season's actually over.
Yeah, so
we have all the stats.
But yeah, thank you all for listening to us and another good week of football. We hope the three of us were able to give you some really good advice this year, and we hope we helped you in some way. Make it to your championship round and win your league. If not, at least make the playoffs. And just thank you for lending us your ears and tuning in every week. And we really appreciate it. And, from us here at Garden of Sports, have a happy new year. And we'll catch you back here with our season wrap-up episode. And we'll be back with some off-season stuff,
Yeah, we want to do a lot more off-season episodes next year.
Yeah, we're going to be doing we're going to get after the NFL draft, talk about the rookies. We'll go in depth with free agents and just all the off-season stuff. So just be in tune for all of that. And just thank you so much for making it a fun year, everyone. And Kyle, thank you so much for always joining. We love having you on. You're basically the third host of the show pretty much. And we love having you on every week. You're always welcome. and just really fun. And so with that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, get notified when all our new episodes are dropping. And go follow us on our social media. We got Facebook, facebook.com/Garden of Sports podcast. We have Instagram, instagram.com/Garden of Sports. And we got Twitter, twitter.com/GOSPod2021. Go give us a follow. It'll be really fun. And we'll catch you back here in the future with another fantasy football episode. Thank you very much, everybody.
Good luck, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.